Hello and welcome to my shop. Last time we saw my office desk, and today we're gonna talk about the piece of resistance in my furniture carrier. That's the piece I like the most, and this is gonna be my dining table. This one is also made out of mahogany, and it's actually why I started furniture building in the first place. That's because I was looking for dining table sets and I couldn't find what I wanted. So I said, let me start building stuff, and when I get proficient enough, then I'll make what I want. And I made what I wanted. It is 4 feet wide by 8 feet long and about 30 inches tall. 2-inch thick tabletop split in 2 halves, 4 by 4 for each. For this one I used 2 new pieces of equipment. One of them is an upgrade from one which I already had, and one is something I was missing, but I was able to do the same thing using another one. I'm talking about sliding table saw and a jointer. I also needed to buy me bigger clamps. So I bought pipe clamps, and I had to actually use extensions. Oh, I almost forgot. I also bought a portable belt sander to sand the top of the table and make my life easier. For this one, I bought this thing here, which is a beast. That's a Makita. I believe it's 9403, 120 volts, 11 amp. This takes out lots of material really easy, but it's really heavy also, but that worked great for me. That's about it for all the tools I needed to create this build. This one was actually quite easy and didn't require too many tools. The best thing was actually the sliding table saw, which I will show you now, which made this work a breeze. So let's see it. You've kind of seen it already, because that's where I'm standing right now. This is the sliding table saw. It's a Felder K6, 7.5 horsepower, 3-phase. You also call that a panel saw. It's easy to cut 4 by 8 sheets, no problem. Nice sliding fence. There's a dowel on the handle here, so you know how high the blade is before you cut. Nice extension table on the side. You can use a scoring blade to cut melamine, for instance, very easy without chipping. Here's a blade. I'm using Freud mainly here, that blade. There's a hold down from massive pieces. So here's the table saw. Now this thing is massive. It goes back all the way to here. I only have not even 3/4 inch here at the end. Forward the same amount all the way to here. You can easily cut 4 by 8 sheets, no problem. So this one is the jointer. It's a Northfield 12L, 3 horsepower, 3-phase. As its name is saying, it's a 12-inch wide jointer, 3 straight knife blades. Maybe in the future I'll upgrade to spiral heads, but it's working like a charm. Adjustable fence, really easy to adjust. So how about the construction of a table? Well, I started with rough lumber, so I first went with a jointer to have an edge, flat. Then I went to the table saw here to cut the parts into smaller, more manageable parts, which is better to decrease wind movement. on the tabletop. And then I went back to the jointer, flattened the face for a reference, turn 90 degrees on the edge again for a 90-degree reference angle, and then went through the planer to plane to the final thickness. Then went back to a table saw for the legs at the beginning, and then for the top. I mitered the corners for the legs and used a router to create grooves for floating tenons to reinforce the corners. Then I started to work on the stretchers. Stretchers I cut dados using the table saw. Mitered the corners also. I assembled the stretchers to the legs using screws and washers, so I added threaded inserts to the legs to make sure the connection was secure. Regarding the top, I used the dowel jig to put dowels and glued pieces 2 at a time, and then put everything together on make 2 halves. Then I beveled the edges using hand plane and the sander, the Makita sander, to 30-degree angles. And finally I put everything upside down, put the base on top of a tabletop, and drill some holes to attach the base to the tabletop. And also for this I used screws, washers, and obviously also threaded inserts to make sure, again, the connection was good. For finishing, I use the same product as the office desk, so Osmo Poly XO, which again worked great for me. I love this thing, I keep using it. So this is the final product over here. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you later.